Hey guys, welcome to season 15 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing tips for every entrepreneur and business owner.
Now, many small business owners reach a point where working harder no longer leads. Next step often isn't a new tool or tactic, it's a shift in how you think and how you lead. In this episode of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, we're joined by Moniek James and Ryan Hunt, business experts with deep experience in both entrepreneurship and leadership. They shared 5 key mindset and leadership shifts that help business owners lead more effectively and make better decisions. This conversation is designed for entrepreneurs who want to create lasting results through better decision making, stronger communication, and more focused leadership.
Well, hello, friend. How are
Well,
we?
hello. We're good.
I'm very excited about this because I absolutely adore both of them. Moniek more than Ryan, probably, but we won't say that out loud. Just kidding. No, seriously, I ever since meeting Ryan, he is like that cool high school buddy that you're like, is he coming to the party? Like, you know what I mean? Moniek, she knows. I literally am obsessed with her and I stalk her. And like, she's here again on season 15, as is Ryan, because he also joined us last season. And I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to tell you why they're on in a little bit. But I mean, Anna, what are you hoping for today's conversation?
Well, so I do want to make just something very clear. So these 5 leadership shifts, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but they actually come from the 1987 film Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. If you have not watched it recently, I do not recommend necessarily that you do, because we're going to tell you all the good stuff today that comes out of that show. And it is a 1980s film. So
hold up. Yes. Remember that it is a film made in the 80s. We know that time isn't, but I will tell you there was a lot of nostalgia. And I realized why I like to walk around my life with like music kind of dictating like the action that I'm doing. If I'm feeling like verklempt, I don't know if that's the right word. There's like a musical component to that action. I do see my life as a movie. And it's probably like movies like this. That's one thing. Because for today's conversation, and Ryan mentioned this on his episode, and because him and Moniek do things together, it was like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And so, but Anna and I laughed. Yeah, Anna and I laughed really hard when we were rewatching it because we're like, man, times has definitely changed, you know? But we won't get into all of that mumbo jumbo.
No, but I just wanted to say that was the only thing I was going for was that's the reason I have this background. If you are watching this live or replay on, if you can see what I have a fabulous like 1980s background of an office space. Anyway, that's all I was going to say. I wasn't even going to get into the movie. It's very boring.
Okay. So real fast, let's move on. You're right. I might say more than I should. So Anna, tell everybody the call to action question, and then we're gonna start and tell you why we have the fabulous team of Moniek and Ryan here today.
Yeah. So our call to action today is: which leadership shift helped you grow your business more effectively? Understanding your audience, delegating more, or focusing on your personal values. And this is for anybody who is out there listening in right now. We would love for you to just drop in the comments, think about creating a social post about this. Hopefully this is kind of spurring the juices and getting your mind all lubricated up, ready to go for today's conversation.
Nice word choice there, Anna. So, okay, guys, we're going to bring up why they're here after you put in, but here we go. Here's why they're on today.
Y'all. So I am here with my esteemed colleague, and we have some people that we know need to be guests on your podcast. But I forgot the process, and he doesn't remember either. So tell us where to send these people, and we will follow your instructions.
Oh, and I have one other thing. We need it because both of us need to be on the show at the same time. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Okay.
All four of us.
This is a lot of it.
All four of us.
Okay.
Guys, this is how it happened. This is why they're here. We got a text from Moniek while her and Ryan were together at a IVMF event. And me and Anna were like, you can see our text thread there with Monique on the left. The video, that wasn't even the only video, but we can't really share the second video because it's definitely for secret eyes only. So we just wanted to let you know this is why this happened. So without further ado, let's Anna, why don't you read Monique's and I'll read Ryan's. We can't hear you, Anna. You muted yourself.
Oh my gosh, that never happens. It's always Selena that does that. I feel okay. Moving on.
One for Selena.
Moniek James is a business strategist and content expert with a background in military leadership and entrepreneurship. She helps small business owners build sustainable strategies that support long-term growth. And I'm going to add something in here. She is the queen of AI for your business. So want to throw that little caveat in there. All right.
I love that.
Take it away, Selena.
Ryan Hunt is a communications and leadership consultant with corporate and nonprofit experience, specializing in brand storytelling and executive development. Together, they guide business owners in aligning vision, operations, and communication to grow more effectively. When I say together, I don't mean like Ryan and Monique, but just together with his team that he has on his end. And I'm just excited. Let's just bring him up.
Yeah, I'm going to bring our favorite up first. Which one will it be? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's Monique.
The two are listening
it's Monique, of course.
I am cracking up.
I can't believe this. This is awful. So I'm not the favorite child. So that makes me sad, you know. Okay. So this is how we're starting this off.
Yeah.
Monique.
No. Oh, Monique. I love it. Okay. So this is gonna be a fun show, you guys.
I'm gonna show you the secret of my success.
Yes.
It's already.
Yes. Okay, let's get coffee up selfie out of the way so we can jump in because we have 5 takeaways that we're gonna chat with you about and get your expertise feedback on that. So we're gonna hold up our thing here and whatever cup you have. Oh God, I'm really scared what Ryan. Oh, there we go, Ryan. It's Lilo and Stitch. Sorry, that's Stitch. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So cheers, everybody, to a good convo. All right, let's do this. Okay, we're gonna. Let's. Should I put up that slide, Anna, that says like kind of like the first thing we're going to talk about here?
You definitely should. So So there are 5 takeaways that we gleaned from the movie, The Secret of My Success. And these are really the 5 most important things you're going to get from this, from what we have, the watching experience. So the very first one, we're just going to kind of go through all 5 of these, and we've got questions to throw at Monique and Ryan, and we're going to just kind of alternate back and forth. And then, of course, you guys can add to each other's conversation as we go. But the first one I'm going to actually throw at Monique. And the first question that we have for you today with that very first number 1 takeaway is initiative beats experience. Do you agree? And what it does not say there is why.
Okay. It depends. I love giving that answer because I know it pisses people off. I think initiative comes before experience sometimes. And when it does, it works like in the movie. He was tenacious and he didn't take no for an answer and he was just determined. But once he got to the executive office, he got experienced. He started learning. He didn't just rest on, being cute and, just being in the room and like just staying scrappy. He kind of shifted and was like, okay, I'm here now. I need to stay here. So what do I need to do? And that's what he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ryan, can I say that?
Oh, yeah. No, I was just going to say real fast, Monique, you brought up like the part where he's trying so hard to get a job and everybody's like, you need to have experience. And he's like, well, how do I get experience if you're not going to hire me to give me the experience? Right. And that is still a solid problem today. Right. So, okay, Ryan, jump in with your thoughts there.
Okay. So I think the most important thing is having grit or passion, which I think Bradley had for sure. So when he was back on the farm in Kansas, he was like, you know what? I want to have the penthouse and I want to go out there and do this stuff in New York City, and really a perfect fit for what he was doing. So he set out on this mission, and yes, he had some bad breaks for sure. And I think what was important throughout the entire movie was that he was able to adapt to his environment as he was moving along. He was able to take that initiative as he gained the experience, and he definitely had resilience. I mean, he was a Jedi of resiliency as he was going through this thing, whether it was being trapped in an elevator and it opening up with him, in his skivvies, or Aunt Vera trying to molest him at the pool house, or in the boardroom with Christy, Helen Slater's character. He was showing his resiliency. He was showing his initiative throughout the movie.
Why do I feel like this movie has shaped who you are, Ryan? Just slightly.
No, I told you last time. Yes, my father was a heavy influence, but
Right.
I have this movie and I watch it every year. It's part of my training. So
Yeah.
I have to recertify on Michael J. Fox's Secrets to My Success, because I mean, it is a perfect thesis. Yes, you can. We talked about some of the other, but it's the perfect thesis of entrepreneurship. I mean, this guy starts off again. He had his vision, and he had his mission, and he went out there and he was trying to execute it in such a crazy way. And I don't know. It's just something that I look at as just something I watch every year to recertify it on being an entrepreneur. And I take lessons. I take notes all the time.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, rewatching it last night, I watched it with entrepreneurial eyes, and I was like, okay, I can catch this part, right? And like you said, like I thought it was hysterical. Like, can you imagine like you having to strip down so you can change out your hats and be the male person or be, the suit, and you're just doing, but you still got to make it work, right? So when it opens, you still got to appear like you're handling your business. So he does a little pose, right? Muscle pose.
And something you got to think about is the opening of the movie. It's about the secret of my success, and it really explains the entire movie, and it explains entrepreneurship. You could actually just watch the first minute of the movie and be done with it, essentially, because he's talking about basically just putting in the hard work, the sweat, and every day. To be the secret of his success is 25 hours a day, 25 hours a day. And also talks about putting his heart and soul into it. So right there, that's the movie. That's the thesis, 25 hours a day and put a little heart into it. I don't know the lyrics, but it goes something like that.
Okay, so we're going to keep you in the hot seat for just a minute, Ryan. We're going to keep you there because I want to throw the second. Yeah, I want to throw the second.
How am I doing, Moniek?
To get through. Monique's going to get a chance. Yeah. Oh, she's giving you. Yeah. Okay, so the second question is: know the business better than the bosses. What does that mean if you are the boss?
Wow. Okay, Moniek, let's get you in here. Know the business better than the bosses. What does this mean if you are the boss? Wow. I mean, that's a tough question. That's a confusing question for me, actually. But I would say that wherever you are in the formation, now going back to military term, wherever you are in the formation, whether you're the janitor or you're Bradley in the mailroom, it's about 360-degree leadership. So you're able to influence from whatever position you're in the organization. And Bradley exemplifies that as he gets in there to the mailroom. He's reading memos, which he shouldn't have been reading. We could send this guy to jail, right? but he's reading the memos. He's starting to understand the organization, and he's leading from his foxhole in that little abandoned office with his secretary and Chinese food. So I suppose that's the answer to the test.
It exactly is the answer. In fact, kind of the takeaway that we were kind of thinking about with that one is that when you have a really deep understanding of your organization, all the strengths and all the weaknesses and all of the people, right? Sometimes when we're the boss, we see that differently than we do if we put ourselves in the position of not being the boss, an employee for ourselves, right? And I think you answered that very well. Monique, do you want to take a try with this one?
I got pissed off at the boss. Only because to Ryan's point about Brantley, sure, this is a corporate environment, but he is an entrepreneur. I think in Patrick Bet-David's book is entrepreneur. He has an entrepreneur's mindset in this corporation. And yeah, I was like, how are you the boss and you don't know who's fired and who's hired and what is going on in your business, in your company? What is the deal? So if you're the boss, know the business better than your boss. If you're the boss, you are screwed because you don't know what is going on in your company. So you can't be effective to Ryan's point. How can you lead 360 degrees if you have major blind spots about what's going on in your business? Like I took that part and like, let me make sure I know my stuff in and out because I don't want to be. He was a cautionary tale for me. Like I don't want to be that guy.
That's true. I mean, and you have to be humble as a leader, humble alpha or a humble sigma, and his uncle was definitely not that, to your point. And that's really what led him down the path of and well, at the end of the movie to kind of reveal the end. He got let out. He was fired. He's fired, as our buddy would say in Washington.
No, I was really interesting for me too was when you talk about knowing the business better, I was like, okay, hey, if you want to grow and get better, you have to be better than those people above you so you can advance, right? Like, so I took it for me in that case, this kind of takeaway, this question of like, if you just say, well, I'm only going to know this stuff because this is my lane and I don't care to know all the other stuff, you're not going to grow and you're not going to be the one that you're trying to be, which is you're trying to be up here. And so, but like Monique too, I was like, man, I'm mad at you bosses if you don't even know what's going on. And like Ryan, like you don't have the 360 view. So there was a lot that came up for me with this that I was like, poor on you bosses. But for those of you trying to learn, and if you see that this is your opportunity, right? To be successful.
I think sometimes too, it's also about recognizing where your own personal weaknesses are, right? Like where you need help, you need someone to come in who is smarter than you, who is more of an expert than you, especially as a small business owner or an entrepreneur, right? I cannot be an expert in all of the things. So I love the idea of like just recognizing like I have to be smarter than thinking I know everything. I have to be smarter than that. I mean, it's a roundabout way of saying it, but yes.
And one thing I liked about Bradley too is that he was always trying to add value to the organization. Is he from day one? He was trying to add value. He was trying to grow, and so that I think that was an important takeaway too of Bradley's secret to his success was trying to add value to the people around him.
Yes,
that is 100%. So true. Yeah.
And I think that's a great leadership tip there, guys, is just always strive to be better or to do more. Okay, Anna, let's move on to our third takeaway here. I'm just going to show it because I didn't show the slide. So please pardon me as I pull it up. So while Anna introduces it.
Yeah,
ahead,
so we've
Laura.
talked a little bit about initiative beats experience. We just talked about know the business better than the bosses. So right now we're moving actually into fake it till you okay, nope, I'm seeing the highlighted yellow, so I'm going to move into the corporate politics can be a circus and stay strategic. And we're going to throw this question, I think we're going to start with Ryan this time around. I don't remember. Did we start with Ryan last time or Monique? We're going to start with Monique. Monique, we're starting with you. All right. So corporate politics. Now, it says corporate politics can be a circus, stay strategic. What does it mean to have emotional intelligence and not just raw talent?
So in the movie, this part for me, I saw this when they had the gathering at the house, and Aunt Vera ended up grabbing Brantley and taking him around to meet everybody. That's where he was getting polished, because before he was raw, he was unpolished, which worked. But I think in that moment, that was like the moment of transition where he crossed over from just being just scrappy and grit into networky, where his EQ, which I think he always had, but maybe just didn't realize that there was room for that. He was a charmer naturally, and once she put him in that element, he was able to just show up, and pretty soon he had everybody, like eating out of the palm of his hand. So yeah, I think raw talent can get you so far, but when you're ready to go from once you hit the ceiling on that, you will have to learn how to talk to people, how to engage with people, how to have conversations with people, because on that level of business, that's where the business is happening. At that point, to what we were talking about earlier, I think, Anna, you touched on this, like the CEOs or the corporate executives, they're not necessarily looking for raw talent. They're looking for the full package, I guess, that is intellect, but also emotional intelligence, and and a people person, and know how to be comfortable in different settings. So yeah, I think in the movie, for me, I actually said it out loud when I watched it. I was like, she's setting him up to win. And I know when I first saw this as a kid, I was not thinking about that. But looking at it through those eyes, I was like, yes, she was taking him. She was literally mentoring and advocating for him every time she took him around to meet a different person, and just allowed him to flourish and do what he innately knew how to do.
So can I just drop in like a part two, Monique? Like, I love what the very last thing you just said about she was mentoring and guiding him. Like, for an entrepreneur or a small business owner, how important in your mind is that mentorship? And then Ryan, feel free to jump in too with your thoughts on that same kind of topic.
I'm saying this as a certified loner. Okay. Like, I am an only child with 3 siblings. I thoroughly enjoy my own company. I got to a point in my business journey where I realized I needed that outside insight, counsel, guidance, wisdom, steering, all of that. It is so vitally important. I have like a roster of mentors. One who talks to me about this investing, and one refers clients to me, and one talks to me about this, and one is like, have you thought about this? So it is definitely helpful to have. It's like you got more. It's battle buddies. You're in this foxhole of entrepreneurship. You need people watching all angles so you can succeed. So I think mentorship is very important.
Ryan, what would you add to that? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do one shameless plug, because we were talking about mentorship and coaches. There's a great program out there. It is called Bunker Labs, Veterans in Residency. And also there's just a host of other things, which is through the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. You can find it and I'm I am a Bunker Lab ambassador, much like Monique. So full disclosure, we don't make any money off of it. It's volunteer, but we're trying to give back to the veteran community. And you can find that at ivmf.syracuse.edu. So it is, as to Monique's point, it is critically important to have mentors, whether they're could be subordinate, it could be a peer, or someone that's above you, could be a mentor or a coach or maybe a cheerleader. And these are very important things. I mean, I harass Monique on a regular basis because it's not because I like her. No, just kidding. I do like her and I respect her. And and that's important because I also want to hear her opinion, and she is a de facto mentor and coach to me. She hasn't invoiced me yet, which is great. I don't want her to, but that's how I feel. And it's very important. And Bradley, to circle back to the movie, it was important. But I also think, just to let's take it back a step to when he was circling around, he really had his. And I'm going to put another movie, which is Jerry Maguire. He had his Jerry Maguire moment when he's walking around the lobby. And I think that's so important. That was, to your point, it was so important for him because he transformed. He went in there a caterpillar and came out a butterfly ready to operate and to get these people together, which networking is a critical component to being a successful entrepreneur, at least in my opinion. So that was huge, and it takes a while to get comfortable. I'm much the same way. I'm actually a loner and prefer to be by myself. It's very exhausting to go to these conferences. I'm telling you. And I did the fly-in to Atlanta with Bunker Labs and then turn around and went to Dallas, the IVMF's, the Veteran Edge, and both of those events were exhausting. I'm so glad. The next one I'm going to is, well, my own conference, but it's virtual. But the next one will be the Military Influencer Conference, and I'm gonna take these next 5 months to rest up for it because it's exhausting. But networking, contradict myself, networking is important. You have to do it to be successful. It takes, as they say, it takes a village. So get your village, collaborate, synergize, etc. What do you think, Monique?
I agree, and that's probably why we're friends, because we're both
Right.
when we're in it, we're like, yes, we're the unofficial mayors, and then after that, please don't talk to me. For 12.
Exactly. Even
Oh my gosh.
this is painful right here. I'm like, I gotta deal with this person again.
No, what? This is good to know.
She's not nice. She is not very nice though. We were in a meeting just like a week or two ago, and I'm telling you, I thought I was like the I could orchestrate everything and direct the show, and she came in and took charge. That was her NCO in her coming out.
No, I think this is what I love about Monique, and I will tell you what's interesting. So Anne and I also attended this conference in Dallas that Ryan and Monique were at, and to watch them together, and when Monique gives you that sauce, she's like, Ryan, not today. I was like, oh, they're really they're connected.
That's
because
how you
Monique,
know.
Exactly. That's how I know that this is a synergy that I'm very excited to see more about with Ryan and Monique. And so, the light jabs is funny. It's part of what makes the magic happen when you are involved with Ryan and when you're involved with Monique. So
if I'm doing it, if I'm making fun of you and being snarky, that means I actually care about you. So that's the difference. If I don't like you, I ain't gonna be talking to you.
That is not one of our learning points from this movie. I'm just gonna throw this out here.
No. That will be another podcast to do on partnerships.
I think that speaks to corporate politics. It can be a circus.
It does.
Yes.
That is true. That is true.
My gosh.
Yes.
The emotional intelligence has to start to come through.
Exactly.
Don't get Monique started on Ryan's emotional intelligence right now. It will be a really poop show going on.
Low.
You know what I'm saying?
It's low.
So
I've been told by many it's low.
we're gonna move on to our fourth takeaway here, and Anna, it is the fake it till you make it part. So please share this segment of our show.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to ask each of our guests today is essentially just the fake it till you make it kind of concept. When have you had to apply this to your own business entrepreneurship journey? I'm curious to know, like, where have you put this into practice, and what was the outcome from doing this?
Okay, I can definitely take this one. I have multiple hundreds of stories. In our previous interview, we talked about my definition of entrepreneurship, which is a person that fails forward a lot, which is me for sure. So, fake it until you make it was a time when I'm starting my first business while I was still serving on active duty. I'm sitting in my hotel room and I generate this distorted 10th mountain patch and go, oh, I'm going to put this into a group and I'm going to say, hey, I'm selling stickers for $5. And I had no intent really. I thought maybe I would get a couple likes. And then the next thing I know, I had 5,000 orders and it generated over a year and a half after that, I generated over $1 million selling hats and stickers. So that was really a fake it or make it situation because I had no intent to be an entrepreneur. I was just playing around because I was bored on a TDY sitting in my hotel room on a Friday. I should have been out like having a beer or something, but instead I'm there watching Secret to My Success and, distorting a freaking sticker. So, or the 10th Mountain patch. And that's another reason why I like Monique too, is she is also a 10th Mountain veteran. So that's a little bit of a, what do they call it? Nepotism, I guess, but so there we go. Climb to glory to the top. So there we go.
I love that example. Yeah, I love that example, Ryan, because what you just said is it wasn't even a fake it. You just literally had no intention of actually starting a business. And the next thing you know, you are in business. Like literally within just one small post and the excitement that generated.
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy time. Now it's oversaturated, but I had to fake it with a lot of big name entrepreneurs that were so awesome and still are awesome. But I did fake it quite a bit. And there's been times, I'll just say it, where I'm starting a new project and I will make it seem like it's, everything's about branding, right, Monique? Branding, digital marketing, getting your stuff out there. You want to look bigger than you really are. So I would say that's faking it until you make it. And I've done that many a times. And most of the time, we pull it off and it ends up being something huge and big. But, that's it. What about you, Monique? Come on. Fake it until we make it.
Okay.
He's perfect. He's perfect like Bradley. Come on, Bradley. Come on, Bradley.
Here's my my issue. Even the fake it till you make it thing. I was going to say, I don't know if that's real. I know that is real. I know people do it. I don't believe anybody no, that's not true either. The entrepreneurs in this conversation.
Tell us the truth.
We
can handle it.
We are not faking. We are aligning our actions with our belief and creating capacity for it to be realized.
That's that's a corporate political answer.
Even what you just said, Ryan, you said, I didn't plan to do it, but it happened. You didn't plan to do it, but on some level, you believed I can do this. And so in that case, it's not faking. Like, sure, in the movie, Brantley literally pretended he used a different name. I forget the other name he was called. He was literally pretending.
Whitaker.
Yeah. He had a fake name.
No, Whitaker. No,
so it was Whitaker or Whitfield?
It's
Whitfield. It was Whitfield?
Connor Whitfield. Connor Whitfield.
I want you to come on, Selena. I watch it every year. Okay.
I know. He literally had a fake name in the movie. So in that instance, on that level, he was faking it, but he was always that dude. The only thing fake about it was the name and the office that he commandeered. He was always that guy. So was he faking? Or was he aligning
Wow.
his actions with his belief and creating capacity for it to manifest?
I
Wow.
feel, yeah, I know. I feel like what Monique is saying is like he had the confidence
Yeah.
and that got backed up by results,
That's right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
And
Wow.
that's where all of
Thank
that
you.
happened.
That's what you
Yeah.
just said, right? Even when you said
No, I'm
you
saying,
said,
but no, you
Yeah.
added value just now. Like you just blew
Right.
my mind. You're right.
you just
Yeah.
No,
said
that was
it.
all
You
you.
I make
Yeah.
it, I do things and it might, with the magic of digital marketing, you make it look like it's something that's not. No, but it already is that. You just
Right.
create
You're right.
space for everybody else to catch up and be like,
Well,
oh
you do everything, all success, it does come from this. You have to manifest it.
that's
You have
right.
to project the energy, and that's how you are able to succeed and accomplish all these things. And Bradley did that. He
That's
did it
right.
when he was in Kansas. He's like, I'm going to New York City. I'm going to have a penthouse. I'm going to have a beautiful woman. And then he stalked Helen Slater's character the entire movie.
Yeah.
Way,
Again,
way,
very
way out of
80s
his league.
movies, guys.
Yeah,
Out of that
that
movie,
she was
that woman
she
told you
was
to
way
leave
out
her
of his
off.
league. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was way out of his league.
100%. 100%. Look, we could have a personal view on this, but we're going all entrepreneurial with this movie and the takeaway. And you know what, Monique? Yeah, thank you also for kind of just reframing that. Because sometimes I personally have a problem with fake it till you make it, not in a bad way, but I feel like, no, but I really am legit trying, right? And what I'm doing, everything I'm doing about it, it's not fake. But I know that's a terminology that has come up. And I like the way you say it, even though I know it is very more corporately said, like you mentioned, Ryan. But I feel better about it. Like I'm like, no, my skill set is not fake. I'm just,
Right.
you know what I mean? And so thank you for just kind of reframing that. I like that a ton.
Yeah. I do want to speak to those entrepreneurs, though, who are, in a sense, faking it. Like, in the sense, they don't know everything they need to know yet, but they are determined that they will learn it in time, right? Like, there's almost kind of like a learning process of you don't know what you don't know until it's, and there is that moment of, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to say I do, and then I'm going to figure it out, right? And so, but that again comes back to that confidence and then being able to back it up with results, which is exactly what you were saying, Monique, aligning your actions to get the results that you need, basically.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to throw out the very last question. And this one is really kind of you guys being able to provide some value to our listening audience, which is all about innovation, which can come from anywhere. So our question today for you two is innovation coming from anywhere, but where do you look for innovation? And we can start with Monique this time around.
I definitely think everywhere, but one of my favorite places to look is in fashion. Like I like fashion. I actually I'm working on a blog post about. It was a interview with the former editor of Vanity Fair, and he said something about the Oscars party that resonated with me as like a marketing strategy approach or framework. So I get a lot of inspiration from fashion, and I like to tell people that because they're like, the two don't go together. No, it's creativity. That's where creativity, it's almost purely creativity. And so being able to pull from something that is visual into something like marketing strategy, which is invisible, really excites me.
And I just want to back this up with the last conference I was with you at. You met an amazing person because you both had cool shoes on.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah. You need to go find Monique's post about that and how just, when you kind of like do unique things or, you know what I mean? You stand out a little bit in some way, how that can attract who you want to kind of come into your universe, right? I love that you brought that up, Anna.
Yeah. Ryan, what about you? What would you say?
You know what? I was listening to my twin And I was thinking, I was actually thinking the same thing. And one of my role models for entrepreneurship, my father, Michael J. Fox, all this good stuff, but Ralph Lauren and his story, the whole story of Polo is just, it's amazing. And I do look for inspiration also in the fashion area. Believe it or not, it's so weird, but to your point, that is where creativity is really. There's a lot of creativity going on. Or even look at the history of the house of Dior. That's another fascinating story, and just the inspiration, of that whole line and how it actually came to be. Or Coco Chanel and all these other designers. But it is interesting to look at their stories, look at their passion, their creativity, their vision, and then to apply that, to what we're doing. So I have to commend you for that, girlfriend, because that's like right on target. That is a great place to find it.
Yeah.
I feel like we just made another connection between you two that maybe you weren't both aware of right now.
Right.
I don't know.
I know. Seems like it happens every time I talk to Ryan. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We probably are siblings in another life.
We are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Soul siblings.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. I mean, again, this is like the power duo you never thought that you needed in your life, and it's Monique and Ryan, guys, like for real.
You don't even know. She is on. If I was to create a list of people to build an organization out, she would be part of my veteran Avengers. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of quality that Monique brings to any fight. She's an Avenger, a veteran Avenger.
Gosh, that's such a true statement. I mean,
don't cry. I'm
down.
No.
You were saying, and I was just thinking, who would I be? I'm Thor.
Yes. And Ryan's the Hulk, right? Is that what that is? Ryan's the Hulk.
I decided I'm not Captain America, because I did sit back and think about this. I was like, okay, I'm not Captain America. I'm Tony Stark. I want to be Tony Stark. That, and I'm kind of like trying to bring these Avengers together, but yet I'm still want to do my own thing. I want to be an entrepreneur. So that's kind of, I'm Iron Man, or maybe I'm Batman, but that's not an Avenger. So
that's DC.
That's different.
It sounds like another copycat in the making. It's like season 16. Which Avenger are you in business?
We should. There's another one. Boom.
Look, guys, just stay tuned for season 16 coming soon. It's Ryan and Monique, the Avenger Entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
So,
can I just make another observation? Ryan's like, "Don't cry, Monique," and she's like, "I'm not crying. I'm Thor."
Think about who I am. What are you talking about?
No, but Thor got fat, and he was like, he was depressed.
First of all,
he redeemed himself and he saved his nation.
Okay, yes. And first of all, we never call girls fat, Ryan. So first of all.
Here we go.
Gosh.
Here we go.
Look, we could continue on so much, but this is exactly why we wanted to bring Ryan and Monique on, just because this conversation is happening. They have a lot of awesome things that are happening for them this year. We typically say, hey, where to find them. I'm just gonna quickly ask Ryan, what's coming up for you? Where can people support you? What should we look forward to from the Ryan Hunt? And then we're gonna ask Monique the same thing. So please share kind of, what do you got going on in the pipeline?
I've got a lot of stuff going on, but the most important thing is, especially if you're a veteran or part of the veteran community, so middle spouses, etc., attend the Veteran Social 25 at www.veteransocialsummit.com. It's free $99. So that is the most important thing. And then what was the other? If you want to find me, this is going to sound so pretentious and egotistical, but I'm going to just throw it out there. I've been wanting to say this for a while. Google me. No, seriously. Ryan Patrick Hunt. You'll find a lot of stuff there. You can get a hold of me, but mainly LinkedIn. I said that to be funny, but you can Google me.
You better have a T-shirt that says "Google me." That's all I want you to wear at the summit.
I think so. You know what? That's a great idea. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. So, I happen to run an e-commerce site, so we can produce that for sure.
Right. And then you just have an open box so they can just fill in their name. Do you know what I'm saying? But okay, you guys, we promise to make sure we will have links in our description, how to sign up for the summit. So that way you don't miss it. You can join. I know Monique was part of this summit last year. That's how these two connected. And Monique provided a lot of value, as did the other speakers that Ryan brought in. And I think it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I'm also going to mention What?
I'm sorry. I got to interrupt you. This is hard, but I'm putting you both on the spot. You don't have to answer right now, but I'm going to put you in the hot seat because you put Monique and I in the hot seat. Yeah. We want you, Monique and I want you to be speakers at Vet Social 25. So
I'm going to speak for Anna and I. Yes. I don't know what we're going to do, but yes, whatever you want. We're in.
Maybe we need to have like maybe we have to have a mini 15-minute coffee-ish or 15-minute. I'm messing it up, but you know what I mean. Within the Veteran Social Summit.
Yes. Okay, we're going to do something, but we're going to come up with it. And I love that.
Or something with no spouses also.
Something like that. Right. We're going to do something. We're going to work with Monique and Ryan, and we're going to make this thing happen. But also, as another plug, Ryan is also the co-founder of the Veteran Lifestyle Magazine. And he's fabulous. His other bestie, Annette Wittenberger, has always been like, if you don't see him with Monique now, it's going to be with
jealous. She's so jealous right now. She was hating on me. I'm like, yep, I'm going back on the podcast. And she's like, I hate you. Yeah, whatever. I hate you.
Okay, Monique. Wait, I'm not cutting you off, Ryan.
Go for it.
I want to make sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to forget.
You have to mute me. You have to mute me, or you'll never get a word in.
So, Monique, tell us, is there anything happening for you you want to just kind of mention, or just how you want them to find you?
Well, find me first and last name, Monique James, Moniek, spelled just like it sounds. That's an inside joke, Ryan will remember that. I got a couple of things, some speaking things coming up, nonprofits, nonprofit summit, the Jim Moran conference. I am all about AI and marketing strategy, and just come holler at me.
Yes. Perfect. And then we are seeing you at the Veteran Summit in some
I will also be at the Veteran Social Summit. Yes.
Okay.
You better believe it.
I love that. I love it.
Or I'm gonna unfriend her.
And I'm just going to throw out there, you can find both of those two on LinkedIn to connect with them. And they both drop really valuable LinkedIn conversations. So that's a great place to follow both Ryan and Monique.
Yes. I do. I'm just trying to wait for this thing to pop up. So, okay, look, we always offer a toolkit. And so Anna and I were thinking, like, what can we share with everybody? Let me see what I can do here. This is something that you will find in our notes here, along with how to find Ryan and Monique. But grab our business clarity snapshot. It's just a fractional CMO's quick audit, right? Are you branding yourself properly? Are you doing your message? It's a business snapshot. And so
it's literally a 5-minute exercise. It's just a quick thought. How am I doing in these areas?
Yeah.
Oh, I might need some help.
Yes. So grab that. And then you guys, we're kind of like at the end here, right? So I just want to first say thank you, because this is the part where Anna does the close, and I just kind of put on some Oscar music here, and we say thank you to our people,
Yeah.
There we go, Anna.
Ryan and Monique, thank you so much for being here with us
the
15-ish minute coffee chat, talking about Michael J. Fox, the secret of my success, and those 5 amazing takeaways from that amazing 1980s movie. For everyone listening, come and find us on annaselena.com or your favorite podcast. We're also on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. You can't miss us. I'm just going to say it. Google us. You'll find us, right? And with that, we're going to wish you a very happy day, and we'll see you on the next 15-ish minute coffee chat.
All right. Bye, guys.